Welcome to the dangers of online and Facebook games.
What the games people play now, every night and every day now, never meaning what they say now, never saying what they mean, while they while away the hours in their ivory towers, till they covered up with flowers in the back of a black limousine. Whoa.
I'm Robin Saunders, and most of you know me as the passionate cybersecurity educator. As you know, I manage 3 websites that provide cybersecurity educational materials to a variety of different ages. Games are fun, and we've all been playing games for many, many years. My first game was Candyland, and this board game came around in about the 1950s. And I still remember wanting to get to the gumdrop forest as I played the game with my friends and family. Next, I graduated to Chutes and Ladders, where I learned how to count. And then on to the classic Monopoly that we all loved, where I always wanted to be the Scotty dog. These were all games that we played in person with our families and friends, and the games changed over time. New versions were developed, and they still exist today and are loved by many. But with the advent of the internet, gaming has changed. Online gaming is big business, and there has been a spike in interest over the last year as we've spent more time at home with the coronavirus pandemic. The internet has started to become a mainstream place to play games. It really began in the 1990s and has continued to explode in popularity over the decades. Because the internet is easily available to more and more people across the globe, this trend is expected to continue, and the online gaming industry is currently worth billions of dollars. Now, some online games are free, some are purchased, and some require a subscription. And even the so-called free games still offer the user a chance to make some in-app purchases. These games are popular because the games themselves are as varied as the people who play them. Some just want to have fun, some want to connect with other people, and some want a challenge. But all of these games have similar cybersecurity concerns, and hackers are a real problem and can create real problems for you. Problems that will ruin your fun times. Here are some of the easy ways that these evil people can make your game day into your worst nightmare. First, there is theft of your virtual valuables. Well, some of you might know what those are, but you will in a minute. Games like Warcraft, where you can earn and purchase assets as you play the game. Some of you might remember this episode of The Big Bang Theory.
What's going on?
They stole everything, Leonard. Everything.
Are you the roommate?
Yeah, Leonard Hofstadter. What happened?
Your friend here called 911 to report a robbery.
Oh my God, what did they get?
What didn't they get? I got my enchanted weapons, my vicious gladiator armor, my wand of untainted power, and all my gold.
You called the police because someone hacked your World of Warcraft account?
What choice did I have? The mighty Sheldor, level 85 blood elf, hero of the Eastern Kingdoms, has been picked clean like a carcass in the desert sun. Plus the FBI hung up on me.
Into the bag.
They took my battle ostrich.
Oh no, not Glenn.
Yes, Glenn, only bird I ever loved.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that. But next is data theft. Your player account is one of the most valuable assets and often the most targeted. The more personal data, the more valuable to the hackers. The mobile games, which often track your location, your media engagement, and even your phone calls, are often targeted. This is because many times these games have weak authentication because the passwords are often reused on other games. And many games complete half of the hacker's work simply because by seeing another player in the game, can reveal their username. Some gamers even give you access to other players' scores, which are listed by their user games. Next, phishing campaigns are commonplace, and the phishers are not limited to the standard fraudulent emails that we all know and hate that are trying to trick you into divulging your login credentials, but they often set up a fake login page or pose as a friend and attempt to send malicious links via chat platforms. And next, there is malware. This can spread by links in the phishing emails, or by a drive-by download, or in a competitive game, players may be convinced to voluntarily download malicious application, promising cheats, hacks, and other ways to gain advantage over the other players. And there are also security flaws in the games and the websites. The online gaming industry is a minefield of cybersecurity problems. And that's not even to mention the social concerns.
Care package ready for delivery. Marked as easy. Friendly care package on the way.
Hey, good game. Want to play another?
Can't, it's getting late and I've got school tomorrow.
Me too. How old are you?
14, you?
13. But I'm going to be 14 in 2 weeks. I can't wait for my birthday. Whereabouts do you live?
Southampton. How come?
Me too. You should come over to my house so we can play together sometime.
I'll get
my dad to come pick you up.
Ashley, what are you doing up there?
Just gaming with my friends.
And yes, remember, you really never know who you are meeting online. And finally, just a word about online game addiction. There has been a lot of news recently about online gaming addiction, and it's actually classified as a mental disorder. And one study shows that more than a quarter of all gamers are now adults aged over 50. Some seniors have even organized their own video game tournaments in order to connect with others in the community. And seniors aren't immune to video game addiction. It's a very real problem for some. These are all concerning, but you can help to protect yourself by using strong and unique passwords, not sharing your personal information with others, and downloading these games only from reputable sites, and always updating your equipment with the latest and greatest security patches. I know that many of you use Facebook. It's a wonderful place to catch up with your family and friends. But it's also a place where many people fall prey to games and quizzes that can steal your personal and private information and that of your friends. While you might see Facebook games and quizzes as harmless fun, you might be compromising your privacy and a lot more. Now, not all Facebook games and quizzes are scams, but the potentially dangerous ones are often hard to spot. Facebook games and quizzes are an ideal place for scammers to hide malware that might infect your computer or your phone.
Which words do you use the most on Facebook?
Do you ever do quizzes like this on Facebook?
Sure, all the time.
Which superhero are you most like?
You have done those before. Why do you do those?
I don't know. It's just there.
You ever taken one of those personality quizzes? They seem fun, harmless, but the NBC2 investigators have discovered a darker side.
See, when you take these quizzes, all your private and personal information is likely being shared with the quiz makers. So why should you care? NBC2 investigator Rachel Polanski joins us to tell us.
Because information is power, and most of those quiz makers are selling your information to third parties like advertisers and spammers. While many companies just want to try and sell you things, some dishonest companies want to get a hold of your data so they can use it to scam you.
Scrolling through Facebook, we've all seen them. Clickbait.
What do you think when you see these quizzes? Are you interested?
Well, since I'm a little obsessed with Harry Potter, of course I used that one.
They catch the eyes of moms like Nikki.
Which one did you get? Do you remember?
Hermione.
And college students like Jonathan.
I've done a lot of them, so
Why do you do those?
I don't know. It's just there.
I would caution against that.
But this social media expert and FGCU professor says that's not a good enough reason.
Is giving up access to your profile worth the results that you're going to get?
Before you take a quiz, he says you should ask yourself 2 questions. Who are you communicating with, and is it worth it?
It will receive your public profile, my friend list, email addresses, all my posts, and my photos. Well, my goodness, what else is left?
As flattering as it is to be compared to Wolverine,
Would you take these personality quizzes?
No. No.
cybersecurity experts say it's not worth the phishing and spam emails that will soon be flooding your inbox.
I mean, the possibilities are completely endless.
His best advice, scroll past the quizzes. But if that's something you just won't do, he encourages you to make a secondary email account or Facebook profile.
That way they're not getting a hold of your actual contacts, and they won't be able to profile you as easily.
He also says it's a good idea to read through the terms and conditions.
Do you remember when you clicked to take this quiz and then it said, do you agree to these terms and conditions? And you clicked accept and then it generated your results?
I'm assuming yes.
Did you read any of those?
Heck no. I'm ignorant that way, I guess.
It's something Nikki Barger didn't think about before, but she will now.
Even though it is shiny, you click a button and that might mean that you're entering into more than what you think you are.
Now, by finding out which friend could be your peanut butter to your jelly, you're actually handing over reams of personal information, and this data collection continues long after you have forgotten about the quiz. You actually might be handing over your birth date, your name, your location, and even information about your sexual orientation to third parties such as advertisers and scammers. Most quiz users don't even read the associated permissions, and they just click allow prior to taking the quiz. And by clicking allow, you let the quiz developers access your Facebook profile information and all of that of your friends. In addition, these apps can continue to operate in the background of Facebook unless you delete them via your privacy settings. And I've given you just some very brief instructions on how to do that. Just make sure if you don't want these apps collecting data on you, go in here and delete them in the settings. Unlike the Apple's App Store, Facebook does not regulate the process of posting apps to Facebook. Anyone can write a game application and throw it up for users to start playing immediately. However, this anyone can include hackers and malware writers. And a hacker could create a Facebook app pretending to be a game and have the app try to redirect you to their malware-laden website. And remember, free quizzes offered on social media are not actually free. You're paying with your personal data, and the big data companies collect this for targeted advertising, and the cybersecurity criminals collect this and sell it on the dark web. Now, if you can't resist filling out these quizzes, provide fake information, as the gentleman said, especially to questions that are similar to security questions used by your financial institution. For example, if you're asked what's your favorite pet, just make up an answer. And unfortunately, once you take these quizzes, you can't take back the information that you provide. So keep a close eye on your online transactions for any sort of unusual banking or credit card activity. And as always, be cyber smart, but be senior smart. Have fun online, but try to guard your personal information the same way that you would guard your bank accounts. And see you in cyberspace.